So President Obama's dinner with the Chinese president being called, as you just heard Jolene Kent say, the most important meeting in decades. Fox News national security analyst Katie McFarland is with me now. Katie, so glad to have you with us. You heard Jolene Kent's comments about how cybersecurity is front and center. If there is one thing that is decided before this joint statement, before this dinner, is that the most important part in your minds?
Yeah, sure, but it won't be decided. Why? Because the Chinese are robbing us blind. Just this week, they talked about a new stealth fighter they have. They're calling it the J-31. It's exactly like one of our fighters, one of the F-35. We spent hundreds of billions of dollars to develop that. They stole that technology with a click of a mouse. Now, they're doing a couple of things. They're stealing our information, which is really robbery. They're stealing the research and development we're doing in our defense industries. They're gathering a lot of information about Americans, hundreds of thousands of Americans, millions of Americans. What are they going to use all that information for? Are they going to try to blackmail Americans who are in leadership positions and have security clearances? And then finally, they're becoming very aggressive in the South China Sea, which is one of the major transit areas for seagoing vessels, one of the major sea lanes of communication. They want to claim that as an internal Chinese lake. Okay,
Katie, stay with me there. I just want to go back because we do have this live feed of the Pope arriving. You can see it there. The plane actually did touch down at JFK International Airport. He will be getting on, or getting off that plane rather, getting into the helicopter that presumably you are looking at right now. He is going to take a helicopter to Manhattan, and he will be celebrating Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral in a few hours. Katie, I want to get back to something that you said about cybersecurity, about the fact that you believe, and as research shows and our sources say, that China is an omnivore as far as stealing data, whether it's from industry or from government. What did you make, though? Because we did hear a Chinese official say, 18 hours ago, you know what, the U.S. and China is in the same boat. We are all being hacked. And the implication is the U.S. is doing it too, so don't point fingers at us.
Well, it's funny that you asked that question because I was in China about a year ago and I met with some senior Chinese leaders, Minister of Foreign Affairs and some others, and I made that same point. I said, you're stealing stuff from us, you're hacking into our computers, you're taking our intellectual property. And he made that same argument back. He said, well, you're doing the same thing to us. We're as threatened by your hacking into us as we are by you. But it's not true. Why? What do they have that we want to steal? We're the ones who are the innovators, the creators, the developers of new technology, whether it's in the defense industry or the civilian economy. They're not doing it. That's why they've got to steal it from us. So any argument that, well, it's just, you're doing the same to us, so therefore, what's the problem? That's a false argument and it's a false analogy. And anybody who falls for it's a fool.
Katie, love having you with us. Clarity, clarity, clarity. Katie McFarland with me there.